The galaxy had always seen Earth as small, a loud world full of noise and weak ships. Human space stations were old, their fleets were few. Alien empires laughed when Earth spoke in councils. They called humans emotional, too fast, too reckless. For centuries, Earth stayed quiet. Humans traded, humans learned, and humans watched. Far beyond known space, something changed. A deep space sensor blinked once, then it went dark. No explosion, no warning, just silence. Minutes later, another sensor failed, then another. Across 3 star systems, alien operators checked their screens. Stars were still there, planets were still moving, but something was missing. Signals did not bounce back, scanners showed empty space, yet shadows moved where nothing should exist. A patrol fleet was sent to investigate. 10 ships, fully armed, veteran crews. They crossed the sensor line. Their voices were calm at first, then confused, mass reading increasing. One officer said, "But no object visible." The fleet slowed down, then all signals cut off at once. No debris, no energy burst, no trace, just silence across the galaxy. Emergency alerts began to sound. Old war empires woke from long peace. Merchant guilds froze their routes. A massive shape was blocking starlight, so large that stars behind it vanished. Not destroyed, just hidden. The shape moved slowly, like it did not care who watched. Alien commanders stared in fear. Their best scanners failed. Their ancient records showed nothing similar. Some whispered old legends, stories of machines older than stars, weapons built by forgotten gods. Others laughed nervously, trying to calm the room. "This is not real," they said. Then a junior analyst spoke, her voice shaking. "The object's movement path. It leads away from Earth." The room went quiet. Earth, the weak world, the noisy species. That idea felt wrong, impossible. Another sensor failed, closer this time, much closer. The shadow grew larger, its edges sharp and endless, like a moving city, like a world wrapped in metal. No engines were visible, no heat trails, no weapons charging. Yet fear spread faster than light. On Earth, the sky was calm. Cities slept, lights glowed softly, deep beneath oceans and mountains. Hidden doors unlocked. Systems long silent woke up. Human commanders watched the same data, their faces calm, their voices low. "This was always coming," one said. "They never believed us." In deep space, the massive object slowed. Stars bent slightly around it. Gravity behaved strangely. The galaxy held its breath. No attack came, no message followed. Only the shadow, only the silence. And for the first time in history, the galaxy felt watched, not hunted, not threatened, watched. The silence did not break. It grew across the galaxy. Emergency signals echoed. Alien capitals stopped their daily flow. Trade lanes closed without warning. Old empires that once ruled stars now felt uneasy. Their fleets were strong, their weapons ancient and tested. Yet this was different. The shadow did not attack. It did not speak. It simply existed. Councils gathered in great halls of crystal and steel. Holograms showed the same image everywhere. A massive shape blocking stars. No race could name it. No record matched it. Military leaders argued loudly. "This is a trick," one said. "An illusion," said another. Scientists shook their heads. Gravity readings were real. Space itself bent near the object. Scouts were sent from 5 empires. Fast ships, stealth ships, ships that had never failed before. They moved close, too close. One by one, their signals faded, not destroyed, not damaged, just gone. Fear replaced pride for the first time. Ancient warriors felt small. A powerful war race prepared an attack. Thousands of ships aligned, weapons glowing with energy. Their commander raised his clawed hand. "Fire," he ordered. The weapons launched. Beams crossed space. Missiles vanished into the shadow. Nothing happened. No shield flare, no explosion. The weapons simply disappeared. The attacking fleet froze. Their systems began to fail. Lights dimmed, engines slowed, then silence. Entire fleets vanished like they were never there. Across the galaxy, panic spread. Messages flooded communication nets. What is it? Who made it? One question repeated again and again. Why Earth? Data analysts tracked its path. Its movement was slow but certain. It came from Earth's direction. This truth shocked everyone. Earth had always been watched, always judged as weak, always ignored. Human ships were small, their weapons outdated, their politics messy. At least, that was the story everyone believed. Some laughed nervously, trying to deny reality. Humans cannot build this, they said. But fear does not listen to pride. Old treaties were broken, new alliances formed in hours. Former enemies stood side by side. They all watched the same shadow. On Earth, deep beneath the surface, humans moved with purpose. No panic, no chaos. Screens lit up in hidden rooms. Names appeared that had not been spoken for centuries. Systems powered on quietly. A human general looked at the data. "The galaxy is afraid," he said. Another replied calmly, "They should be in deep space." The massive object changed course, slightly, not toward Earth, but around it, like a guardian, like a warning. Alien leaders realized a terrible truth. This was not an attack. This was a reveal. Something Earth had hidden, something Earth had prepared. The silence was no longer empty. It was heavy. It pressed against every mind. The galaxy waited, knowing nothing would ever be the same again. Earth's secret, RFZ secret, RFYL. The galaxy trembled. Earth remained calm. No sirens filled human cities. No panic spread among the people. Most humans did not even know what was happening. Life continued as normal. Lights stayed on. Ships launched and landed. Deep beneath Earth's oceans, under thick ice and heavy stone, hidden doors opened slowly. Systems, older than modern nations, powered up. Screens glowed with soft blue light. Data flowed like a waking mind. Human commanders stood in silence. They had waited for this moment, not with fear, but with acceptance. Humanity had learned long ago that the galaxy does not protect the weak. Kindness alone does not stop predators. So humans planned, not for war, but for survival. Centuries earlier, Earth had been attacked. Small raids, silent tests, probes that never asked permission. Humans noticed everything. They always did. Instead of shouting, instead of showing strength, they chose patience. Hidden shipyards were built in deep space, inside hollow moons, beyond dark nebulae. Generations worked without glory, without songs, without history books. They built something different. Not a battleship, not a fleet, a supercarrier large enough to carry entire armadas inside, strong enough to survive star collapse, silent enough to hide in plain sight. Its armor was layered like a planet. Its systems ran without heat trails. Its power source bent gravity itself. This was not a weapon of conquest. It was a shield. In deep space, the shadows shifted again, like curved around its surface. Stars faded as it moved. Alien scientists finally understood. This was not one ship. It was a moving fortress. Inside the supercarrier, human crews waited. Thousands of ships rested in hangars. Cities slept within armored layers. Families lived there. Children were born there. Human life protected by steel and silence. A human admiral stood before the command table, his voice steady. "This is not an attack," he said. "This is a warning." Across the galaxy, data streams spiked. Scanners failed harder than before. Communication signals bent and broke. The supercarrier powered up another layer. Not weapons, not shields, presence. Entire regions of space felt heavier. Time readings drifted. Navigation systems lost. Meaning, alien leaders watched in horror. Understanding came too late. Earth had never been weak. Earth had been quiet. They mistook silence for fear. They mistook patience for ignorance. On Earth, one final system unlocked. A system linked only to the supercarrier. A simple command was sent. Not in threat, not in anger, in preparation. The galaxy was about to hear humanity speak. Not with words, but with truth. And the shadow continued to move. Slow, silent, unstoppable. The galaxy FREZST, galaxy did not move. It waited. Every major empire focused on one thing. The human supercarrier. Trade routes stayed closed. Civilian ships hid near stars. Military fleets powered down their weapons. No one wanted to be noticed. The massive shadow drifted slowly through space. It did not chase. It did not threaten. It simply existed, and that was enough. Alien sensors tried again and again. They failed every time. The supercarrier rejected scans like space itself, refused to explain it. Commanders whispered in low voices. Pride was gone. Only fear remained. An ancient empire made one last mistake. They believed size alone could not stop numbers. Their grand fleet moved forward, thousands of ships in perfect formation, generations of conquest behind them. They fired a warning strike, a controlled burst, measured and careful. The beam touched the edge of the Supercarrier, then vanished, not absorbed, not blocked, erased, before panic could spread. Space around the attacking fleet folded slightly, not violently, not fast, calm. One moment the fleet existed, the next moment it did not. No wreckage, no explosion, no radiation. Just empty space where power once stood, across the galaxy. Leaders understood. This was not war, this was correction. Weapons shut down everywhere. Defensive lines dissolved. Invasions were cancelled. Mid-launch, no empire wanted to test human patience again. The Supercarrier slowed near the center of known space. Its presence pressed against every system, every mind. Navigation beacons drifted off course. Time signals lost accuracy. Gravity felt uneven. Space itself seemed nervous. On Earth, human command remained silent. They watched without celebration, without anger. This was not victory. This was balance. A human officer looked at the data. "They are afraid," he said. Another replied quietly. "They finally understand." Alien councils debated surrender, but no demand had been made, no order given. That scared them more than any threat. The Supercarrier did not aim weapons. It did not deploy fleets. It waited across the stars. A single human transmission node activated. It connected to every major channel at once. No distortion, no delay, perfect clarity. The signal carried no emotion, no aggression, no mercy, just certainty. The galaxy froze. Every species listening, every world holding its breath. The age of ignoring humanity was over. The age of guessing was done. Now there would be truth. And the Supercarrier stood silent, like a judge, like a wall, waiting for the final moment. The silence FDR the signal finally spoke. Every screen across the galaxy lit up at once. No flags, no symbols, no threats, just a human voice. Calm, steady. "We are not your enemy," the voice said, "but we are not your prey." Their message did not repeat. It did not explain. It did not ask for peace. It simply existed across alien worlds. Leaders sat in silence. Some felt relief. Others felt shame. They had watched Earth for centuries, measured it by noise and chaos, never by patience. The truth settled slowly. Humanity did not rise suddenly. It had always been standing. The Supercarrier powered down nothing. It did not leave. It did not advance. It remained, a reminder. Fleets that once planned invasion changed course. Weapons were locked away. Old war doctrines were deleted for the first time. The galaxy adjusted itself around humans. On Earth, no celebration filled the streets. People continued their lives, unaware of how close history had come to collapse. Deep underground, human commanders exhaled quietly. The hardest part was over. "We showed them enough," one said. Another nodded. "They will remember." The Supercarrier slowly shifted position, not retreating, not chasing, guarding. Alien historians would later struggle for words. They would call it a miracle, a warning, a turning point, but soldiers remembered it differently. They remembered the silence, the moment when power did not shout, when victory did not destroy, when humanity proved strength without cruelty. From that day forward, human ships were no longer laughed at. Human signals were never ignored. Trade with Earth increased. Alliances formed carefully. Respect replaced mockery. The galaxy learned a final lesson. Humans do not rush. They do not boast. They wait. And when they finally stand, even the stars listen. The Supercarrier remained hidden once more. Its systems sleeping. Its crews watching. Because humanity did not seek rule, only space to exist. And the galaxy, at last, understood. Silence followed every mention of Earth, not from fear alone, but from respect. The story ended without fire, without conquest, only truth, and the quiet knowledge that humanity was ready, always had been. The legacy of Silence. Cliff Ben moved forward again, slowly, carefully. The galaxy returned, to trade, to travel, to politics, but nothing felt the same. Star maps were rewritten. New warning zones appeared near human space, not marked as danger, marked as respect. Alien captains lowered their voices when Earth was mentioned, not from fear alone, but from memory. They remembered the shadow. They remembered fleets erased without violence. Most of all, they remembered restraint. Historians across many worlds tried to explain it. Some said humanity was lucky, others said it was destiny. But soldiers and commanders knew better. It was preparation. Human ships began to appear more often. Still small, still simple, but now they were never ignored. Alien ports cleared paths. Traffic slowed. Communications stayed polite. Respect had replaced mockery. On Earth, the supercarrier faded from public talk. Governments sealed records. Systems returned to sleep. The shadow became a myth again. Deep within the Supercarrier, crews continued their watch. Children studied stars through armored windows. Teachers spoke of patience and balance. They were not told stories of conquest. They were taught responsibility. A human officer recorded a final log. Power is not shown, he said. It is held across the galaxy. New rules formed without meetings. No one approached Earth with force. No one tested human borders. Predator races turned inward. Conquerors became negotiators because they had seen the cost of arrogance. Once, long ago, the galaxy believed humans were loud, emotional, weak. Now they were known for something else. Control. In distant systems, young alien cadets studied the event. They watched recordings of empty space, of fleets that vanished. Their instructors spoke softly. This is why we do not provoke Earth. Not because humans were cruel, but because they were careful. The supercarrier remained hidden, not lost, not forgotten, waiting. Humanity did not seek to rule the galaxy. They did not claim stars. They did not demand tribute. They simply stood ready, and that was enough. The galaxy learned a final truth. The most dangerous species is not the loudest, not the fastest, but the one that prepares in silence. As stars continued to burn and fade, one lesson endured. Never mistake patience for weakness. Never confuse silence with surrender, because when humanity watches quietly, history is being written, and when humanity finally moves, the universe listens.